Right now, I do want to get you to some of the other big stories that we are following and take a live look over the city of Atlanta at this hour as we continue to follow all of the latest playing out in Fulton County. That is, of course, where Atlanta is. Popping up this video for you on your screen as FBI agents executed a search warrant Wednesday at the Fulton County Elections Office near Atlanta. A spokesperson for the agency said that agents were, quote, executing a court-authorized law enforcement action at the county's main election office in Union City, just south of Atlanta. There are a lot of thoughts and feelings on all of this here. I do want to bring in Commissioner Mo Ivory of Fulton County, Georgia, to discuss all of this. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us today.
Thank you. Thank you. How are you?
Good, good. And first off, I just kind of wanted to ask you here your thoughts overall about the situation playing out there, because you have been vocal that you're not quite sure this was the correct action.
Sure. I mean, we were served with a warrant yesterday, and the FBI showed up to secure the 2020 ballots and documents that have been archived for several years now. And so it was quite a surprise to our workers who come to work every day in Fulton County to administer our elections, to make sure that all folks in Fulton County, all voters, have easy process to vote. And you can imagine that they are getting ready for all that we have coming in 2026 with primaries on May 19th and the general election in November. So it was quite a surprise when the FBI showed up.
What information, if any, did county officials get from the federal authorities before that search warrant was executed?
Well, we didn't get any information. We have some pending cases right now over these documents, which were due to come up, a civil case due to come up on February 9th, where the judge would be deciding whether or not to unseal these documents in a proper format where they would then be copied, and, you know, the procedure of reviewing those documents would happen. But it seems that they could not wait until that civil case was happening, and instead a criminal warrant was issued to come and pick up those very documents that were due to be discussed in that civil case.
Did you have a chance to look at the search warrant in any way? Did they let you see it? And if so, you know, what did it say?
I did see the search warrant. You know, and it said that, you know, they were there to get the 2020 ballots. At first, the first search warrant was procedurally incorrect. It was to the Registrations and Elections Office, and documents that have been in the archives for several years. Remember, we're talking about documents from 6 years ago that had already been archived. Archived documents are in the hands of our clerk of Superior Court. So that change had to be made procedurally on the warrant because it was first issued to the wrong entity, so served on the wrong entity. So it was then corrected, and then they came back, and that's when the documents began to be loaded.
What is the county doing to essentially secure the security, the integrity of of elections there?
Oh, well, we're doing what we've always done. We've made our elections fair, open, and transparent to all voters. This issue of whether the 2020 ballots were counted correctly is over. It's been litigated over and over again, and courts have found through numerous litigation cases, through numerous pieces of litigation and cases, that there has been nothing found to have been a problem or illegal about or fraud or any of the allegations in the 2020 election. So this is just another attempt to distract, to cause chaos, to cause distrust in Fulton County, but it has already been adjudicated that there was nothing improper done in any of the elections that Fulton County has administered. 2020, 2024, which nobody ironically seems to have a problem with, nor what is happening in 2026. So this is all just another attempt by the administration to stir up distrust in the voters in Fulton County. And voters our elections in a truthful, honest, and a fair way for all voters. It doesn't matter who you're voting for in Fulton County. It matters that we allow everybody the access and the right to vote, and that's what we do.
For any voters, and you just touched on this, but any voters who are concerned, what assurances can you give them that this investigation is not going to affect any future elections there in Fulton County?
I can assure them that we have a team of dedicated, wonderful employees who, despite having to deal with this continuous attack and the continuous stress put on them by our federal government, come to work every single day to administer fair and free elections. They are there to work to make sure that everything is done properly. We have a beautiful facility that is equipped to handle all types of concerns in elections, and we in Fulton County, and we do that. And so I would tell voters that they have nothing to worry about, that this is all the circus of the administration continuing to adjudicate something that has been finished and completed and deal with the pain, I guess, of losing an election. It's only when the administration loses an election that the ballots become an issue. Because if they were concerned about the way that Fulton County was administering our elections, why would they not get the 2024 documents? They're only concerned with the 2020 documents because he lost. So if it was a real concern overall about the way that Fulton County administers elections, they would be looking at all elections, but they are not. So we understand clearly what this is about.
What message do you have for investigators that you believe that they should provide to the public? Because again, this is all ongoing, but we don't have a lot of information about exactly what the investigation is based on. Of course, it's about the 2020 election, but what do you want to hear from investigators and what should they say to the public?
Are you saying what should the FBI say to the public?
Yes.
Or okay, well, I mean, I don't know that the FBI has an obligation to say to the we surely would love to hear from them. We surely would like the affidavit unsealed. We would like to know what is the reason for this. But right now we know that the warrant that was served was a criminal warrant based on some fraud in elections. And that's the same thing that are the allegations that are coming from the administration. So it is just our president using his force with the FBI to send them in to stir up something that has already been resolved. So what I would like for, and let us administer our elections in the fair way that we always have, including 2020, when he did not win the election. Attention away from killing citizens in Minnesota. We are now worried about raiding the offices of Fulton County on an election that happened 6 years ago.
All right. Commissioner Mo Ivory there in Fulton County. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us and, of course, share your perspective as we do.
And I'd just like to add one thing.
That
the best thing that voters can do in Fulton County to protect themselves and to keep their vote secure is to make sure that they go out and vote, and that they make sure they go to the Secretary of State's website and check their registration and make sure they haven't been purged. The most important thing you can do is to protect your vote from these type of tactics. And that's what you should do. That's the power that you have as a voter that nobody can ever take away from you.
All right. Thank you again, Commissioner, for taking the time to be here. We definitely appreciate it.
Thank you.
And President Trump sounding off on all of this morning on Truth Social. He posted simply, in all caps, Trump won big, crooked election. That's likely to be one topic of discussion that takes place during today's essentially meeting of his cabinet that's expected to happen in just about 1 hour. So we do expect we will have cameras inside and we can bring you all of that meeting. But again, this is going to be one of several topics that will likely be discussed there as President Trump posts this morning on Truth Social, quote, Trump won big, crooked election. Again, you can watch that full cabinet meeting here starting around 11 a.m. Eastern Time.